Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Romy and today I'm going to be telling you all about how to diamond paint faster. And I want to start out with a disclaimer right away. I know this is a hobby. I know you don't need to diamond paint faster, but yeah, it's just my preference to diamond paint as fast as I can, and that might be silly to say it like that, but I have a lot of pretty canvases in my stash that I'd like to get through. And also, when I diamond paint, it's quite a tedious hobby, so it takes a long time. That is the nature of diamond painting. But yeah, when I sit down to diamond paint, I'd like to get something done. I like to see results from my efforts. So that is why I enjoy diamond painting fast, or at least I feel like I'm diamond painting quite fast. So I have 8 tips for you today. But again, if you don't want to diamond paint fast, if you don't want to multi-place, if you don't want to follow any of the tips I'm giving you today, that is all good. You do you. It's just my preference to do it this way. So wanted to get that out there first, but I have 8 tips that we're going to go over. And I have this canvas where I'm going to show you some examples on. This is Ice Princess by Hannah Lynn from Diamond Art Club. Unfortunately, it's discontinued. It is round gel, and we're going to get into the tips right now. The point of me sharing what canvas I'm working on is has to do with the first tip, which is set yourself up for success and get good kits, good quality kits. And with that, I mean a clear drill field. Let me show you. The symbols are very clear. They're not blurry. They're not, yeah, they're super easy to distinguish which one is which. So yeah, it goes a lot faster when you don't have to go hunting for symbols. And also when you buy a good quality kits, the glue is way better, the drills themselves are way better, you're not picking through trash, they don't have holes, they don't have tabs, or at least to a minimum. So yeah, it just goes faster when you do it that way. Of course, you can also buy diamond paintings from AliExpress or Temu or whatever bit crappier quality that you can get. They will turn out fine, but it's just the experience of working on it, and when you want to get faster, it's just easier to do it on a good quality kit. Then the next thing I'm going into, tip number 2, is if you can and if you want to upgrade your accessories. And by accessories, I mean tray. For example, this one is one that I use a lot. This one is from Melior 3D Print. Or this one is another one that I use a lot, and this one is from 3D Gems. And this one has this little latch at the end. So when you pour drills into it, I will show you that is easier. When you pour drills, the drills lay flat easily. When you shake it up like that, the excess of drills goes down there. So yeah, it's just, you can just pick up all these drills without having issues with drills lying on top of each other. So that is a thing you could upgrade. Again, not necessary at all. I painted with the small white little boats that you get for free with every cheapy kit. I painted with those for a long time and they work fine, but these are just way bigger. I tried to find one of those little white trays, but I threw them all out. Apparently, I didn't know I did, but apparently I did. Those are pretty much that size. So you can imagine the bigger the tray, the more drills fit into here, the less times you have to refill your tray when you have a lot of the same color. So, and that really helps to speed things up as well. And then this is also very optional, but you can upgrade your pens. I have about 25 of these pens at the moment. They are just easier to hold, they're easier to grip, they're more ergonomic for your hand, and you might run into issues if you just use the thin pen that comes with almost every kit. But then again, I painted with those tiny small pens for a long time and I was just fine. But if you want to do a long diamond painting sessions, these pens are a lot more comfortable for sure. This one is from the Norse Alchemist, and I have a lot of C'est plus beau à toi as well, but they are, I believe, not in business right now, but the Norse Alchemist is in business, and I really, really recommend his pens. They are gorgeous. Then the next thing is storage of your drills. Usually with a lot of diamond paintings, the drills come in baggies. There's nothing wrong with that. You can work out of them for sure, especially when they're the Ziploc type baggies. Let me see if I have them here. These type of baggies, they are absolutely fine to work out of if you don't have or don't want to have any drill storage. But yeah, having a drill storage really makes a huge difference for me in terms of speed, because I use these ones most of the time. And yeah, you can see over here the stickers are printed, I was going to say, are stuck on there, so you can clearly see which symbol is which. And when you've been working on a painting for a little bit, you have just muscle memory of where which symbol is in your tray or in your storage container. I always use these ones with the 4 attached to each other. Those are not everyone's preference, but they are mine. So my next tip doesn't really apply to me, because I always kit up by DMC color, but you can also, if you have storage containers that are separate, so if these 4 were all separate from each other, you could organize the symbols by letters, by numbers, by arrows, by dots, by whatever you find easiest, and then you will probably remember where to look for each symbol even quicker than doing it my way. But I'm just used to it doing this way, and I like it. So yeah, I'm not going to do that, but you could if you want to, be even faster, maybe. Then the next tip is regarding to what I use in my pen over here in my multiplacer, and in my single placer. In my multiplacer, I use my own homemade putty. This video was not intended to be a promotion for my own shops at all. I'm just telling you what I use, and I always use my own putty. This is an older style sticker, but it works still the same. It is, it's just an alternative to the pink wax that you usually get with your kits. I've obviously used this quite a bit already, but you just take the old putty out. I have putty in here. I'm not going to do it right now because I just refilled that. And then you stab your pen into the putty, wiggle it around a little bit, and then you have a fresh putty that lasts way longer than the pink wax. Also, it works with specials, which the pink wax doesn't, because it leaves a residue, and my putty doesn't. If you're interested, of course, I have to take this opportunity to promote myself a little bit. I always have the link down below to my Etsy shop and also my own website where I sell my homemade putty. So that is what I use in my multiplacer, always. And in the single placer, I always use these, which are little glue dots, and you don't have to replace these for like a month. They last a really long time and they work great. The only downside to these for me is that they don't really work great with specials, so I always use my multiplacer to do the specials. Then we're up to tip number 5 already, picking the symbols. When I open a new section, I always start with the symbol that jumps out to me, that is most visible to my eyes, that is most easy to distinguish amongst all the other symbols. And in this case, for me, it's clearly this one, which is black, the white dot. So, and then I would obviously pick up the color that I need, pour it in my tray, and start painting. I'm not going to do that right now because I want to demonstrate a little bit later in another color, because black is quite difficult to see for you on video, I think, but that is how I go about it. Sometimes I go by what symbol jumps out to me the most. Sometimes I go by what symbol is most prevalent on the section. In this case, it's both the same, it's the black, but it's not always the case. And sometimes I, for example, when I've just placed that color, I will do these 2 colors after that, just because I already have this out, and it saves me time to put this back and get another one, and then get this one again 2 times later. So that is what I sometimes do as well, but honestly, I just fly by the seat of my pants when it comes to picking what symbol to work on next. And then another little tip included in this tip number 5 is when I pick a symbol, for example, when I would pick this one, you can see there is not a lot of that symbol in this whole section. So I'm not going to be pouring out all the drills that are in that little container when I want to start working on this section. I'm just going to get what I need, basically. So if I was to pick that color, I would pour out a little bit. And if I was to pick out that symbol to work with, then I would pour out a lot, because obviously there is a lot of the black in this section. And then when there's only one or two, then sometimes I go like this. And I just dab my pen in there and pick one drill up and just place that one down and close the lid again, so that I don't have to mess with pouring all the drills in the tray, getting one out and then pouring them back. That's also a big time saver for me. But you have to have a quite sticky end of your pen, otherwise they won't come up when you dab your pen into there. Now we're on to the most important tip, at least for me, is what saves me the most time, and that is multi-placing. I have a little extra tip in here for you a little bit later, but I always use the multi-placers from Diamond Art Club. They're just easiest for me to work with, and I always work with, this is an 8 placer, and I also have a 10 placer. You can see the difference, it's quite a bit larger. I mostly use the 8 placer, but when I have a canvas that is very much color blocking, then I will use my 10 placer. But let me show you how I do that and what other tip that I have for you. I'm going to do this letter C because that is easiest for me to show you what I mean. So I shake the tray, I tap it like that, and I tap it a bit to the side to get the drills all to line up to, and these drills to line up to that little ledge, so that it is easier for me to pick them up. So when I, for example, I want to go place that one, I see there are 4 C's over there. I see there are 4 C's, huh? And I pick them up. I didn't show you how to pick them up. Let me backtrack a little bit. I put my pen at an angle. I pick up 4 drills because I wanted to place 4, and then I place them. Then they are placed. Now over here you can see a row of 4 that is all, yeah, supposed to be single placed basically, but I don't do that. I again pick up 4 drills, then I tilt my pen, place the first one, tilt again, place the second one, if it wants to place the third one, and then place the last one. And then you only have to pick up drills 1 time while placing 4 drills. I also would do it with this one. I would place that one first and then 2 there. For that next little bit, I would go like this: 1, 1, 2, and then you can place, yeah, pretty confetti heavy sections a lot faster. This is definitely what saves me the most time while diamond painting. Another tip I have with which might be a little bit redundant and a bit obvious, but I keep my tray very close to the area that I'm actually painting. For example, yeah, I'm close to this, but then when I would move over here, then I would move my tray with my pen. So yeah, so I'm traveling the shortest distance possible to get my drills on there. Yeah, that is what I do. And then I must say, this method of placing the 4 drills only works when there are no drills surrounding it. When I would have been almost finished with this section, I would only multi-place 2 at a time. So I would pick up 2 and then place 1 at a time and not do more than that, just because that is very difficult, dare I say impossible, when you have almost completely filled up the whole grid, because you need the room for your pen to tilt to be able to release the drills separately and not have them come off all at once. So yeah, but still, when you only get to place 2, it's still double as fast as you would only get to place 1 at a time. So it still saves a lot of time. So that was the most important tip that I always use. And if you've watched any of my ASMR videos that I always do on my channel, you can see my way of diamond painting. And I always get comments like, whoa, you are fast. Whoa, how you're doing that with the drills. That is a nice technique that I didn't know before. So I thought I'd explain it to you a little bit more over here. So I hope you try it out and let me know down below if you do, if it helps you, if you like it. It's definitely a bit of a practice. If you've never multi-placed before, it will be difficult, but you can definitely learn it. I learned it and I love it, so you can too. So moving on to the second to last tip, and this is a tip I don't follow myself as well, that I would love to be able to follow, but I can't, and that is to leave your stuff out. So leave your diamond painting, leave your drills, leave your accessories, leave it all out. I can do that because I don't have a designated diamond painting space. I always paint on the dining table or on the desk in my son's bedroom, so I can't leave it out. When I want to diamond paint, I have to get everything and set it all up and then put it all back once I'm done diamond painting. But if you leave it all out, it's way easier to just do 5, 10, 15 minutes at a time of diamond painting in between and then get up and do something else again. I'm not going to get out my diamond painting if I only have like 15 or 30 minutes. It's not worth it to me to get everything out. So if it was just laying there, I would definitely get more done. It's not per se that you're getting faster while doing that, but you do get more done if it's just readily available for you to place some drills. So another tip that I'm just thinking about now that I always do, but that wasn't on my list, is use a light pad for better visibility. I'm going to show you now. It's a light pad off because when I'm filming I leave it off, and now the light pad is on. It might not be as obvious for you when I'm filming. It's flickering a little bit. I don't know why it's doing that, but it's much more clear to me where all the symbols are and where all the blank spaces are, because when I do occasionally paint without a light pad, when I film my videos, for example, I paint without a light pad, I'm very more likely to miss drills because it's just way easier to see for me like this, where I still have to place the color or drills at all. So that is what I always do. So a little bonus tip in here for you. And then my last tip, which is also a bit redundant, obvious, and also not always possible, I know, but don't get distracted while diamond painting. When I diamond paint, sorry, I sit down and I diamond paint. I don't do anything else. I'm not getting up to get something for my kids because I don't diamond paint when my kids are around. I'm not yet in that life phase where I get to do that. My kids are way too young. They would grab all my stuff and throw it everywhere. I'm not going to risk that. So that is easier said than done if you do diamond paint around your kids, but I don't. So when I sit down to diamond paint, I just do that. I don't scroll on my phone. I don't get up to get drinks. I make sure I have everything around me when I start, so I don't have to get up unless I absolutely have to. And that makes a big difference as well, because obviously when you just keep going, you make more progress than when you take breaks like every 2 minutes. So yeah, that is a thing that I'm not really consciously doing, but I am always doing. And also when my husband is talking to me because he's in the room with me, then that might be rude to some people, but I just keep diamond painting. I can talk and diamond paint at the same time. He knows that. It doesn't bother him. So we sometimes sit and chat while I diamond paint, and I can do two things at once. I'm a woman. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it brings you some new insights maybe. Let me know down below if it did. Let me know if you have any new insights that I might want to try out to diamond paint even faster. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing and liking this video if you liked it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.